Hey Sagittarius, I just pulled some cards for you, and honestly what came through is pretty intense. I have been sitting with this energy for a bit because Spirit is really showing me something important about someone in your life and the mask they have been wearing around you. So I pulled Page of Pentacles first, and this is interesting because this card usually talks about new beginnings and learning, but here it is showing me someone who has been presenting themselves as genuine, as someone who wants to help you or support you. They have been playing this role of the student or the humble helper. But Sagittarius, there is something underneath this that your intuition has been picking up on. You know that feeling when someone says all the right things but something just feels off. That is what this card is revealing. This person has been watching you, studying you, learning your patterns and your vulnerabilities. The page energy here is not innocent. It is calculated. When I look at the imagery on this card, I see someone who appears grounded and practical, but Spirit is showing me they have been gathering information about you. Maybe they ask a lot of questions that seem caring, but you have noticed they remember everything you tell them. They keep mental notes. The Page of Pentacles in this position tells me this person has been in observation mode for a while now. They have been patient, waiting for the right moment to use what they know. Your gut has been whispering to you about this person, and you have been right to feel suspicious. What makes this particularly tricky for you, Sagittarius, is that you are naturally trusting and you give people the benefit of the doubt. You want to see the good in everyone. But this page energy is showing me someone who has been taking advantage of that generous spirit of yours. They know you are direct and honest, so they have been mirroring that back to you to gain your trust. It is like they studied the manual on how to befriend a Sagittarius, and they have been following it step by step. Then I pulled the Fool, and this is where things get really interesting. The Fool can represent innocence and new beginnings, but in this reading it is showing me how this person has been playing naive on you. They act like they do not know what they are doing, like they are just stumbling through life making mistakes. I did not mean to share your secret. I did not realize that would hurt you. I am just trying to figure things out. But Sagittarius, this innocence is fake. Spirit is pulling back the curtain here. The Fool in this context shows me someone who has been pretending to be more clueless than they actually are. They want you to underestimate them. They want you to feel sorry for them or feel protective of them. Meanwhile, they are learning your boundaries by pretending to accidentally cross them. They are testing how much they can get away with by playing the fool. You might have made excuses for their behavior because they seem so lost or confused. But your intuition has been telling you that nobody is that oblivious. What Spirit is showing me through the Fool is that this person has been on a journey with you where they have been gathering experiences and information, while pretending everything is spontaneous and unplanned. Nothing has been unplanned, Sagittarius. Every oops moment has been a test. Every time they have overstepped and then apologized with those puppy dog eyes, it was intentional. They have been seeing how far they can push before you finally push back. The Six of Cups came out next, and this one hit me because it represents nostalgia, memories, and past connections. This person has been using your past against you, Sagittarius. They either know you from before or they have learned about your history, and they are weaponizing it. Maybe they bring up old wounds disguised as sympathy. Maybe they remind you of someone from your past in a way that makes you let your guard down. The Six of Cups shows me emotional manipulation through sentimentality. This could be someone who knew you when you were younger, or someone who has gotten close to people from your past to learn about why. They might bring up memories or inside jokes to create false intimacy. They want you to feel like you have known them forever, even if you have not. Or if you actually have known them for a while, they are banking on that history to make you ignore red flags. They count on you thinking, well, they have always been there for me, so I must be imagining things. But here is what Spirit wants you to understand about the Six of Cups in this reading. This person has been using emotional tactics that feel familiar and comfortable to keep you compliant. They know that, Sagittarius, you value loyalty and long-term connections. So they have been presenting themselves as that steady presence in your life. Someone you can count on. Someone who knows you. But it is a performance. The nostalgia they create is manufactured to cloud your judgment. I also see with this card that they might have been playing on your sympathies by sharing their own past traumas or struggles, making you feel like you both have this shared experience of being hurt or misunderstood, creating this us against the world dynamic. But Sagittarius, they are bonding with you through manipulation, not through genuine connection. Your intuition has been picking up on the fact that their stories sometimes do not add up, or they use their past as an excuse for current bad behavior. The Moon card came through, and Sagittarius, when this card shows up in a reading about deception, it is screaming that things are not what they seem. The Moon is all about illusion, confusion, and hidden enemies. This card is Spirit's way of confirming that yes, your intuition has been absolutely correct. You have been sensing deception, and you have been right. The Moon illuminates what has been hiding in the shadows, and it is showing me that this person has a whole secret side you have not fully seen yet. What I find fascinating about the Moon here is that it represents the subconscious and dreams. And this person has been almost like a nightmare that seems real. They have created this alternate reality around themselves where they are the victim or the good guy, and they have tried to pull you into that reality. They want you to see them through their distorted lens. But at night, when you are alone with your thoughts, something keeps nagging at you. You have probably had actual dreams or intrusive thoughts about this person that feel like warnings. The Moon also talks about cycles, and I am seeing that this person's behavior follows patterns. They love bomb, then pull away. They are supportive, then critical. They are present, then they ghost. These cycles have been designed to keep you off balance and confused. When you start to see them clearly, they shift the game. When you pull back, they reel you back in. It has been like trying to catch smoke, Sagittarius. Every time you think you have figured them out, they show you a different face. Spirit is using the Moon to tell you that your intuition has been working overtime to protect you from this person. All those gut feelings, all those moments of doubt, all those times you questioned if you were being paranoid, if you were picking up on real energetic deception. The Moon does not lie even when everything else does. Your inner wisdom has been seeing through the illusion even when your conscious mind wanted to give them another chance. Now the Emperor showed up, and this is powerful because the Emperor represents authority, structure, and taking control. Spirit is telling you that it is time to step into your power regarding this situation. You have been gathering evidence, you have been observing, you have been listening to your intuition, and now it is time to act on what you know. The Emperor does not tolerate manipulation or games. This card is your cosmic permission slip to set firm boundaries. What I love about the Emperor in this position is that it is telling you that you have more power in this situation than you realize. This person has been trying to make you feel small or doubtful or crazy, but the Emperor says you are sovereign over your own life. You get to decide who has access to you. You get to decide what behavior you will and will not accept. You do not need anyone's permission or validation to trust your own perceptions. The Emperor is also about leadership and taking charge, and I am seeing that once you fully step into this energy and confront this situation head on, you are going to discover that this person's power over you was always an illusion. They only had as much power as you gave them. The moment you take your power back by enforcing boundaries or cutting them off entirely, their whole facade crumbles. The Emperor shows me you standing in your truth, and this person having no choice but to show their real face. Because the game is over, this card is also telling me that there might be a masculine energy involved, or someone in a position of authority who can help you see this situation clearly. Maybe a father figure, a boss, a mentor, or even just your own inner masculine energy that knows how to take decisive action. The Emperor does not waver or second guess. Once the decision is made, it is done. That is the energy you need to channel right now. Two of Cups appeared, and at first I was confused because this is traditionally a partnership card about harmony and deconnection. But in the context of this reading about an imposter, Spirit is showing me that this person has been faking a soul connection with you. The Two of Cups represents what they have been pretending to offer you: mutual respect, balanced give and take, true partnership. But it has all been a mirage, Sagittarius. This card is revealing that this person studied the language of connection and intimacy, and they have been speaking it fluently to you without meaning any of it. They might have told you that you get them like nobody else does. They might have said you are their person or their twin flame or some other terminology that made you feel special and chosen. The Two of Cups shows me they have been performing intimacy without actually being intimate. Every vulnerable moment they shared was calculated. Every deep conversation was strategic. What makes this particularly painful is that, Sagittarius, you probably opened your heart genuinely in response to what you thought was genuine connection. You match their energy because that is what you do when someone shows up authentically for you. But they were playing a role and you were being real. The Two of Cups in this position is Spirit, showing you the contrast between what you were offering, which was true partnership, and what they were offering, which was manipulation, disguised as connection. I also see with this card that there may have been romantic undertones, or the person positioned themselves as a potential romantic partner even if nothing physical happened. They used romantic or intimate energy to bind you to them emotionally. Or if this is a platonic connection, they created such intense closeness that it felt romantic in its intensity. Either way, the Two of Cups shows me they have been using the promise of partnership to keep you engaged while they pursued their hidden agenda. 8 of Wands came flying out of the deck, and this card is all about swift movement and things happening fast. Spirit is telling you that the unmasking of this person is going to happen quickly. Maybe it already has started happening. The 8 of Wands represents rapid communication and messages, and I am seeing that the truth is going to come out in a way that cannot be ignored or explained away. Multiple pieces of information are going to click into place all at once. This card often represents messages coming from different directions, and I would not be surprised if you start hearing from multiple sources about this person's real character. Maybe other people they have fooled reach out to you. Maybe you discover communications or evidence you were not supposed to see. The 8 of Wands shows things flying into your awareness at lightning speed. Once this unmasking begins, it is going to be swift and it is going to be complete. What I find hopeful about the 8 of Wands is that it is a card of forward movement and progress. Once the mask comes off and you see the truth, you are not going to get stuck in confusion or denial. You are going to move on quickly. Sagittarius, you are a fire sign, and once you know someone has been lying to you, your instinct is to cut them off and keep moving forward. The 8 of Wands supports that natural impulse. The truth will set you free and it will propel you toward better connections and situations. This card also suggests that you might need to take swift action yourself once everything becomes clear. Do not give this person time to manipulate the narrative or make excuses. When you know, and the 8 of Wands says act on that knowledge immediately. Block, delete, cut contact, whatever you need to do to protect yourself. Speed is your ally here. King of Pentacles showed up, and this is interesting because it represents someone mature, successful, and stable, at least on the surface. This might be describing the imposter themselves, or it might be describing an energy you need to embody, or it could be someone who helps you see the truth. If this is the imposter, then Spirit is showing me someone who presents themselves as having their life together. Someone responsible and dependable. Someone who seems financially stable or career-focused. Someone who appears to be a grown-up who has it all figured out. But underneath that King of Pentacles exterior, there is someone who has been using that image of stability to gain your trust. They want you to see them as the rock, the provider, the one who has answers. In reality, they might be far less stable than they appear. The King of Pentacles in a negative light can represent someone who is controlling, possessive, or who uses material resources to manipulate others. Did this person ever offer to help you financially or with practical matters only to hold it over your head later? Did they create a dynamic where you felt indebted to them? If this card represents an energy you need to embody, then Spirit is saying you need to be practical and grounded as you navigate this situation. Do not let emotions cloud your judgment. Look at the facts. Look at patterns of behavior, not just words. The King of Pentacles makes decisions based on long-term stability, not short-term emotions. What would be the most practical thing for your well-being and security? That is what you should do. There is also a possibility that this King of Pentacles is someone who will help expose the imposter or validate your concerns. Maybe someone with authority or resources or life experience who can see through the manipulation and backs you up. Trust that the universe is sending you stable, supportive people to counteract the chaos this imposter has created. Finally, Page of Swords came through at the end, and this is perfect because the Page of Swords is the detective of the tarot. This card represents investigation, curiosity, and uncovering the truth. Spirit is affirming that your detective work has been spot on, Sagittarius. You have been paying attention, asking questions, noticing inconsistencies. The Page of Swords is vigilant and sharp-minded, and that is exactly what you have been. This card tells me that you have been gathering information, maybe without even fully realizing you were doing it. Every weird comment this person made that you filed away in your mind. Every time their story changed slightly. Every interaction that left you feeling confused or drained. Your subconscious has been cataloging all of it, and now that the Page of Swords is here, it is time to bring all that information into conscious awareness and see the full picture. The Page of Swords also represents communication and speaking your truth. Once you have all the facts, it is time to speak up. Whether that means confronting this person directly or simply talking to trusted friends about what you have experienced or even just affirming the truth to yourself. The Page of Swords cuts through BS with the power of honest communication. You do not need to be mean or dramatic. You just need to be clear and factual about what you have observed. What I really appreciate about this card is that it shows you are not crazy or paranoid or overthinking. The Page of Swords is methodical and evidence-based. You have been doing the work of paying attention, and your conclusions are valid. Trust that sharp Sagittarius mind of yours. Trust the questions you have been asking. Trust that when someone's words and actions do not match, you are right to call that out, even if only to yourself. Looking at all 10 cards together, Sagittarius, the message from Spirit is crystal clear. Your intuition has been working perfectly. Every doubt, every question, every uncomfortable feeling has been your inner wisdom trying to protect you from someone who is not who they claim to be. This person has been playing multiple roles: the humble student, the innocent fool, the nostalgic friend, the mysterious connection, the authority figure, the perfect partner, the stable provider, but none of it has been real. Spirit is pulling the mask off now, not to hurt you but to free you. Once you see someone's true nature, you can make informed decisions about whether they belong in your life. And honestly, Sagittarius, based on what these cards are showing, the answer is pretty clear. This person has been energy draining, manipulative, and dishonest. You deserve authentic connections with people who show up as their real selves, not as whoever they think you want them to be. The good news is that this revelation is going to happen swiftly, and you are going to recover quickly. You are being supported by Spirit to step into your power, set boundaries, and move forward. Do not doubt yourself. Do not let anyone convince you that you are seeing things that are not there. Your perception is accurate. The mask is coming off whether this person wants it to or not, because truth always finds a way to surface. Trust yourself, Sagittarius. You have been right all along.